Hey, have y'all heard about this story? This is for all my cat lovers. Have y'all heard about this? Apparently, allegedly, there's a deadly self-cleaning litter box that's flooded the market. Let's check this out.
What is that?
I've been using self-cleaning / automatic litter boxes since 2015, and I've been reviewing them on this channel since 2020. My first one, the Cat Genie, wasn't used much by my cats, but the Litter Robot 3, which I bought in 2018, was a big hit with my 5 cats at the time, hence the name of the channel. Some people criticize cat owners who use them as lazy, just to make things easier for them, rather than actually better for their cats. And I strongly disagree with this. Thanks to them, my cats always have a clean litter bed to use. I've got 7 cats now, and they use 2 Litter Robot 4s. Unless you work from home all day, every day, it's impossible to keep manual boxes clean for them when you're not home. Even with multiple boxes. Well, I suppose if you had like 10, maybe you could do that. Cats don't want to use dirty boxes, and these machines mean they don't have to anymore. Over the last 4 years, I've tested more than 20 different machines across 5 videos. Most of them haven't really been great and have had numerous issues, urine leaks being the most common problem. In fact, I've only really recommended a handful of different machines across the videos, and some of those have caveats. The things I talk about in every review, the most important factor for any self-cleaning automatic.
Yo, my heart just almost dropped. Did y'all see that just then? I thought that thing was finna grab their head as it was taking, like, hey, man. My heart just dropped. I don't even have a cat, bro. But, whoo.
Letterbox is safety. If there's any risk to my cats, I will absolutely not use them, no matter how good the rest of it is. Of those 20 plus machines, I've only encountered 2 that I don't consider 100% safe. One of them actually states in the instruction manual that you shouldn't use it unsupervised, which is pretty ridiculous, as that defeats the purpose of it. At the end of July, there were a couple of posts in my self-cleaning litter box discussion group, which shared a video on TikTok from a lady called Carly J, who described how her automatic litter box killed her cat, a beautiful 1-year-old Siamese girl called Moshi.
Yesterday morning, we woke up, me and my 2-year-old daughter, and I went to find my cat, and she was hanging from her litter box. It had closed on her neck and her body was hanging out, and there was red stuff all over, like everywhere. And she was gone.
She didn't say what machine it was, but she did clarify in the follow-up video that it wasn't an actual litter robot, but something she had bought off of Amazon. She didn't name it in this video either, but she did in the comments. Her videos started to go viral, but then just a few days after they were uploaded, they were gone.
I knew he was about to say that. The video was taken down. Now, like, these platforms, what did she do wrong? Somebody tell me what she did wrong. She went on there to not only tell her traumatic experience of what she just went through with her, 2-year-old? Hopefully the 2-year-old didn't see that. But what she just experienced, right? And amidst all that, everything that she was going through, she warned other people. So what did she do wrong? That's my question. Why would you take her video down if that's gonna save other cats? I don't get that.
So I started to investigate. I needed to know if this was real and if potentially deadly machines were being sold. I'd already found the one that she named on Amazon a few days earlier, sold under the brand AmsToy. Astonishingly, they even called it Litter Robot by AmsToy, using Whisker's Litter Robot font. This is absolutely not a litter robot, and it shows just how dodgy this company is. In the review section, there was a photo of one covered in blood, stating that it had killed their cat. It wasn't under her name, but it had to be her machine. But after the TikTok videos were removed, that review no longer had the photo on it and was now positive. Then a few days later, the entire listing for the AmsToy was gone.
I wonder about that. I always wonder about that. Like, you've heard the stories of people saying, you know, the reviews under there are fake under certain things, or somebody can have people just go on there and write reviews so it gives you a comfort, some type of comfort to continue buying. I've always wondered, like, how do you decipher between what's a real review and what's not? Because I always go straight to the reviews.
There are also a lot of very similar looking machines and different names on Amazon and Wayfair in the US, not just under the AmsToy name. After looking at the photos and videos of them, I saw a potential danger. So I had to buy one to see for myself. As Amazon and Wayfair in the UK don't sell any of them, I had to buy it from AliExpress, which I strongly recommend never doing. But I had no choice. It cost me £165 and £80 for shipping. 4 weeks later, it arrived. It had no brand on it, and they didn't actually send me the one I ordered, which was identical to the AmsToy version, minus the ears. But what I received was still the same fundamental design, just with a bigger waste bin and no ears. It's one of the countless generic machines which are generally bought in bulk and branded by a random company. That's why you see so many identical ones online with different names. I immediately started testing it straight out the box as shipped and had my fears confirmed. I don't even know how I'm supposed to free. The key thing that makes this machine dangerous is that the opening for the entrance is a single piece of plastic which is attached to the base. Now this is fine for a machine that rotates on the X-axis, but this rotates on the Y-axis, so as it cycles, the opening closes. Because that piece of plastic opening is attached to the base and not split in two, if a cat gets caught in it, then there's no escape. If the opening was split in two with the top part attached to the top section of the machine, like the Firmware, for example, then if a cat somehow got caught in it, then the top would lift off and the cat could escape. I say somehow because it shouldn't get this far, as these machines have safety features which are designed to stop a cleaning cycle, stop the rotation if it detects a cat. The vast majority of machines that rotate on the Y-axis during a cleaning cycle don't have a top, so there is no opening to close off. The machine that I bought does indeed have 3 safety features. There's the weight sensors, an infrared sensor on the front entrance that will pause the machine if a cat gets close to it or enters it. The third safety measure is the pinch detector, and this is very important. What it does, if during the rotation it detects resistance, then it's supposed to stop and move back.
See, now, what's the harm in him experimenting, going through this, showing people, giving people tips, telling them what to look out for? What is any different than what she did? What's the difference? I'm confused. Like, this is important. Why would you take that down? Somebody need to let me know that. Like, I don't know.
During these initial tests, I found that whilst the sensors would pause the cycling if the weight and or infrared sensors were triggered, this was only for a few seconds. Here, I'm pressing down, putting my weight on it, and covering the infrared sensor. Both indeed pause the cycling briefly. It should not resume like this. If a cat put its paws on the front and peered in, it should wait until those triggered sensors were cleared. Instead, it just pauses briefly and resumes, which is making both sensors redundant. Now the pinch detector should be getting a sense of resistance from here and reversing, but it doesn't. It carries on. God, that really hurts. I don't know if you can see in my hand the marks. I was able to free myself, but that really hurts. The inside rim of the plastic opening is actually quite sharp too, so that combined with the force and the 3 safety measures all failing to do their job made this machine incredibly dangerous. Once I had finished these initial tests, I connected it to the Tuya Smart app to see if there were any firmware updates, and yeah, there was one. So I installed it, and amazingly, the sensors started to work properly, including the pinch detector. So were all my tests a complete waste of time, and its design safe? Well, no. My machine was sent to me without the new firmware, and there was nowhere any documentation of the manual, and no message from the seller to tell me to make sure that I keep the firmware up to date and to keep checking through the app. In fact, the manual didn't have any safety instructions whatsoever. Didn't even say that there is a minimum weight before you should turn on automatic cycling.
And how many people actually, be honest, read the manual? You come home, you look at it, you plug it up, you pour your cat stuff in it, and you go about your business. We got to start doing better of going online, looking these reviews up, going online, looking this product up, actually seeing how to use it, reading the manual, because these are our pets. This is our family member, bro. Like, this is serious. Like, this is serious. So, yeah, you gotta look at the manual, fam. And look at videos just like this. This video right here is so important, especially if you buy these types of devices. And I know a lot of people do.
To put your own branding on a generic machine, you generally need to buy a minimum of 1,000 units, with at least a dozen machines sold under different names of similar designs, including the AMS toy. That means there's tens of thousands of these potential death traps out there, maybe even more, and with a lot of them already being used in people's homes. From my experience in my Facebook group, I know that many people don't bother with apps, which means if they have one of these, then they won't have the safer firmware. Are the sellers on Amazon, Wayfair, and AliExpress contacting people who've bought them to tell them that they must update the firmware? Well, if this was a single machine sold by a well-known brand, I'm sure they would. But with all these different random companies, it's doubtful. I just really hope that they are. Then there's just how good are the sensors? How reliable are they? Sensors fail, especially cheap sensors. And looking at the build quality of this, I highly doubt the sensors are high quality. So if the sensors stop working, then you still have this incredibly dangerous design of the opening closing off with no way to escape. Even if it didn't have these safety issues, it's a bad machine that's badly made. It doesn't have a litter mat inside it, just bare plastic. A rotating machine needs to have a non-stick litter mat liner so that when it cycles, it drops in the middle to dislodge clumps. Without one, urine clumps will just stick to the plastic. It won't be pleasant. About a week ago, Carly J messaged me in the TikTok app in reply to one of my comments on her videos. We had quite a few conversations, and she told me what happened, why she had removed the videos. And I told her that everything is off the record, it's just for my research. But she said she was happy for me to use anything, and she sent me photos and a video of her beloved Moshi. Amstoy had given her financial settlement to delete the videos and the Amazon review. As part of the settlement, Amstoy would remove the machine from sale. Her husband was unable to delete the Amazon review, so he changed it to a positive one. I'm absolutely not judging her for taking the settlement. I don't know how much she received. She did say that it wasn't much, but she did it under the assurance that Amstoy would remove their product from Amazon. The thing is, she didn't realise that it's sold under so many different names and different variations of the same design. Removing the Amstoy version, that's going to make a very little difference. Carly also told me about a lady called Trish who messaged her to say that her cat had also been killed by the Amstoy machine, and she put me in touch with her. Trish's kitten Charlie was 3 months old and over the minimum weight that the manual states a cat should be before turning on autocycling. On the 19th of July, Trish got a video call from her 13-year-old daughter frantically telling her that Charlie's neck was caught in the closed opening. When her daughter showed her on the phone camera, she could see that it was already too late. Because she was far away at the time, Trish called the non-emergency police phone number, and an officer came round, had her daughter wait outside, and freed poor Charlie, placing his lifeless body on the bed. He was a rescue kitten and had been in his forever home for just 4 weeks before his life was horrifically cut short. Trish also shared with me a review on the now deleted Amstoy Amazon listing about a cat that had also gotten stuck in the opening, but the owner was able to rescue her in time. It doesn't end there. There was another Facebook post in my Facebook group that shared.
There's a whole group, self-cleaning litter box discussion group. Y'all pause it, take it down if you have cats. Get in a group. It's already it's a private group with 14,700 members. Like, get in a group if you have a cat, man, so you can learn about devices that are potentially guillotines that are taking cats' heads and stuff like that, man. So you're up to date. Some of y'all may have this and didn't even know. Like, yeah. Join the group, man, if you got a cat.
Shared this story about a 5-month-old kitten that was found suffocated in a waste drawer. I wasn't able to contact the person who posted this originally or the owner of the cat to confirm any of this. Then it's entirely plausible that a kitten could have ended up in the waste bin and suffocated. It's a horrible thought. I tried to contact Amstoy to get a statement, but their online presence is very minimal, and especially now that their Amazon listings are gone. I did find their YouTube channel, so I left a comment asking if they could get in touch with me. They didn't reply or email me. Instead, they deleted my comment. Deleting seems to be their way of dealing with things. If you own an Amstoy or any other similar design machines, then please update the firmware. Then make sure you test it like I have in this video. But even if you can update the firmware, I just don't think you should use it anymore. I hope this video can help get all of them removed from sale everywhere and get to the people who already have them to warn them. Amazon and Wayfair must act and act fast and remove all of them. The ones on eBay and AliExpress will be a lot harder to stop being sold, but I hope they are. I couldn't return the dangerous machine to AliExpress for a refund, despite the listing stating free returns. They insisted that I pay for the return shipping. I got some quotes to send it back to China, and because it's so big and so heavy, the very cheapest that I could find was £236, and my refund would be £240. So I sent it back, I'd get £4 back. Great. So yeah, don't buy from AliExpress, don't buy these generic machines, don't buy these brands which have all these random names. Buy from recognized brands, ideally with a history of making self-cleaning automatic litter boxes. And if they don't have a history, at least they have made other electronic cat products and not just some startup. And I would also be careful about anything on Indiegogo, because these are beta machines and you are going to be testing them. I'd always recommend waiting at least a year after a machine's been out to let it all settle in and be much better. Do your research, check out reviews. There's lots of them out there, but you can't trust a lot of them, especially the Amazon ones. A lot of them are fake. There's ones which are being paid for in exchange for the product. And
I think that's the part that gets me. And it kind of confirms to me about other products and companies that I've tried to buy from or that I bought from, and I've looked at the review. Did that really mean anything to me? So walking away from this and seeing this lets me know the reviews, I'm taking a gamble, going based on the reviews, and that I got to, if you have pets, you got to read that manual. You got to test that thing out yourself. Those sensors, you need to check them. You need to do all of that type of stuff. Don't just grab it out the box, set it and forget it. You need to test that stuff before you allow your cat, your loved one, your family member, because I consider pets family members, before you let them use these devices, bro. You have to check them.
Obviously YouTube reviews, there's mine, and those are incredibly thorough, and I completely stand by them, so check those out. There are other videos on YouTube. Some of them are very good, but some of them aren't, especially the ones which say they're reviews, but they've clearly been paid for by the company. If you've been paid to make a review, it's not a review, it's a commercial. I was really unhappy with the safety features of the Popa X5 in my review of it. Is it any better now? A little bit, as they've added some firmware which only extends the rake out fully if there's enough litter. But they're still insisting that it's safe for cats of any size, including kittens. And ferrets? That's absolute nonsense, as no machine should be used by cats under a certain weight with auto cleaning on. They do say in the FAQ on their website to put on the fence when using it with them. This isn't mentioned in the manual's basically non-existent safety instructions. Cats, and especially kittens, as you know, are notorious for getting themselves into all sorts of pickles, as shown in this TikTok video from March. If the bin lid closes on a kitten in the waste bin, there's no way they could get out without intervention from a human. Popa need to stop saying it's safe for kittens.
How is this safe? That could have been a kitten, a tiny kitten. They claim this is safe for kittens. You got thrown into the wastebasket, Dusky. And that could have closed on you, and you could have suffocated in there.
There are very few sensors in the X5. I was told the reason is by the CEO of Popa. The man who threatened to sue me said he found machines that kept stopping during a cleaning cycle annoying. He trusted in his machine's mechanics and a cat's sense of self-preservation. Right. Please don't let what happened to Charlie and Moshi put you off buying self-cleaning litter boxes. They are safe. Well, the vast majority of them are. Please still make sure you maintain them and keep them clean. As I've said many times on the channel, the Litter Robot 4s are easily my favourite self-cleaning litter boxes, and they are packed with safety features, entry sensors, weight detection, pinch detectors, and even sensors in the waste bin to detect movement. And if the Litter Robot 4 detects any issues with any sensors, then it will tell you through the app and its light display on the front. And it won't auto-cycle until the issue is resolved. Many of the newer machines have the waste bin inside the cylinder, which means there's no openings, which makes them super safe. The downside is having the waste bin there, as you don't have any waste bin fall detectors, and the bins tend to be really quite small. My favourite budget machine is now the new Furry Tail, which is made by UB Tech, who also make my previous favourite, the Aerobo, otherwise known as the Meowwant SC01. It's super safe, pretty nice size inside, and the waste compartment is a bit bigger than the others, although there's still no pinfall sensor. I will be covering this in a review as soon as I can, along with my new Litter Robot 4 review, which will cover my 2.5 years of using them, as well as the surprisingly great new litter auto refilling litter hopper accessory. If any of my videos have been helpful, please use the affiliate links in the description, including one that will give you $50 off the Litter Robot 4. It helps me make videos like like this and buy machines to test and review. And if they have really helped you, then please consider using the thanks button below the video. I really appreciate it. That's it from this sad but important video. I hope to see you in a happier one soon.
There's not a place to sit. What are these called? This is called aerial stuff.
Is it funny?
Yeah.